Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever been with a woman, talking, laughing, just existing in the same space, and something in your gut said, "She wants me"? Not because she said it, not because she did something obvious, but just you felt it. And then your brain kicked in and told you, "Nah, bro, don't assume. You're probably just reading into it." So you backed off. You played it cool. You waited for something more obvious, something more clear, something she'd actually say out loud. And then nothing happened. She moved on. The moment passed. And you were left wondering, was I right? Did I miss it? Yeah, you did. And it wasn't your fault. Because nobody ever taught you how to read the language a woman's body speaks when her mouth is too afraid to. See, here's the thing most men don't understand about female desire. She is never going to walk up to you and say, "Hey, I want you." That's not how attraction works for women. That's not how their psychology operates. Because for a woman, desire is wrapped in emotion, wrapped in fear, wrapped in layers of vulnerability she spent years learning to protect. She's not going to announce it. She's not going to hand you a roadmap. What she is going to do is show you in the most quiet, subtle, psychologically loaded ways you've ever seen. Ways that most men walk right past because they don't know what they're looking for. But after today, you will. I'm breaking down the 6 hidden signs, backed by psychology, rooted in behavioral science, that tell you a woman wants to give herself to you completely. Her presence, her trust, her emotional world, her full feminine surrender. And I'm warning you right now, by the time this video is over, you are going to look back at moments in your past and go, "Oh my God, she was telling me the whole time." Stay with me through this entire video, because every single sign builds on the last one. Miss one, and you miss the whole picture. Let's get into it. Welcome to Psychology of Desire, the channel where we go deep, real deep, into the psychology behind attraction, desire, and the emotional behavior women rarely speak about out loud. If you're brand new here, stop what you're doing and hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, this channel is not about pickup lines or manipulation tactics. This is about understanding women on a psychological and emotional level that most men never reach. And if you're already part of this community, you already know how real it gets here. Let's go. All right, sign number 1. And this one is happening right in front of you. You just haven't been trained to see it yet. Here's the foundation you need to understand first. The human body reacts to attraction before the human mind consciously recognizes it. This isn't poetic. This is neuroscience. When a woman feels drawn to a man, genuinely, deeply drawn, her nervous system starts firing signals before her conscious brain can intercept them. And those signals show up in one very specific, very observable way. Her body moves toward you, like gravity. Now let me paint this picture clearly so you really get it. A woman who has zero interest in you keeps her distance. She maintains physical separation instinctively. Her body is angled away from yours. Her feet are pointed toward the exit. She creates space because space feels safe when she doesn't want closeness. But a woman who wants you, she can't keep that distance. Even when her mind is trying to play it cool, even when she's telling herself, "I'm not going to be obvious about this," her body is already betraying her. She sits closer than she needs to. In a crowded room, somehow she always ends up near you. In a group conversation, her shoulders slowly, unconsciously rotate toward yours. She finds excuses to stay in your orbit. "Oh, let me grab something from over here." And that something just happens to be right next to where you're standing. This is called proximity-seeking behavior, and it is one of the oldest, most reliable indicators of female attraction in behavioral psychology. But here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not just the closeness, it's the comfort that comes with the closeness. When a woman is near a man she doesn't want, she's tense. Her shoulders are slightly raised. Her movements are careful and deliberate. She's protecting her energy. But when she's near a man she does want, when she's drifted into your gravity, something releases in her. Her shoulders drop, her posture softens, her laugh comes out easier, more genuine, less filtered. Her guard doesn't just lower, it dissolves. And that's the sign you're looking for. Not just that she's physically close, but that she's comfortable being close. That the defensive tension most women carry with men they're uncertain about is just gone when she's around you. That softness, that ease, that's not just personality. That's her body telling you she feels safe with you. And safety for a woman is the prerequisite for everything that comes after. Pay attention to where she puts herself in a room, because where her body goes, her heart is already thinking about following. Now I need you to forget everything movies and TV have taught you about what female desire looks like, because Hollywood wants you to believe that a woman who wants you will give you this long, dramatic, seductive stare across the room. slow blink, smoldering gaze, parted lips. That's not real life. That's not how attraction actually shows up. In real psychological behavior, in actual human interaction, the most powerful indicator of female desire is the opposite of that. It's the quick glance away. She looks at you, genuinely, deeply, and then breaks that eye contact almost immediately, like she got caught doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing. And that tiny, almost invisible moment, that is massive. Here's why. When a woman looks at a man who genuinely affects her, who triggers something emotionally real inside her, her nervous system reacts before her brain can catch up. She feels something, and feeling something she wasn't prepared to feel in that moment scares her a little. So she looks away, not because she's not interested, because she's too interested, because the feeling was stronger than she was ready to show. That quick break in eye contact is her nervous system saying too much, too real, too soon, before her conscious mind can compose itself and play it cool. That's not disinterest, that's involuntary emotional exposure. And it doesn't stop with the eyes. Watch her body language in the moments after that eye contact breaks. She might reach up and touch her neck, play with the ends of her hair, run her fingers along her collarbone, adjust her clothing. These are called self-soothing gestures, and women do them when they're experiencing heightened emotional arousal that their body doesn't quite know what to do with. She's not doing it consciously, she doesn't know she's doing it, but her body is processing the intensity of what she's feeling. And these little movements are how it regulates itself. And then there's this. If she trusts you, even a little, even just starting to, she'll do something that is far more powerful than any eye contact or physical signal. She'll start sharing. Not surface-level stuff. Not, oh, I had a busy week, or, yeah, work's been crazy. Real things, vulnerable things. Why she doesn't trust easily. What hurt her in her last relationship. What she's afraid of. What she secretly wants but hasn't told anyone. Now I need you to hear this clearly. A woman does not emotionally expose herself to a man she doesn't want. For women, emotional intimacy and physical intimacy are not two separate categories. They are deeply psychologically connected. She cannot open her body to a man she hasn't at least begun to open her heart to first. So when she starts sharing things she doesn't normally share, when she looks at you and says something that surprises even her, she's not just having a conversation. She's testing whether you're safe enough to hold what she's about to give you. She's checking. Is he gentle with this? Does he receive me well? Does he make me feel judged? Or does he make me feel understood? And if you receive her well, if you listen without fixing, hold space without running, show her that what she shares is safe with you, something inside her starts to shift. Because emotional safety is the unlock. It is the foundation everything else is built on. When she feels emotionally safe with you, truly, deeply safe, her body follows. Not immediately, not dramatically, but it follows every time. Yo, real quick, if you're watching this and you're nodding your head, if you're thinking, I've seen this before and I didn't even know what I was looking at, that means this content is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it right now. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss a video like this one. We put out content every single week that goes this deep into psychology, desire, and emotional behavior. The stuff most people never get access to. Subscribe. Right now. I'll wait. Okay, let's keep going because we're just getting to the good stuff. This one is subtle, and it's one of the most powerful psychological indicators that exists. I want you to think about a woman you know or have known, and really observe how she exists in social situations. With her friends, with coworkers, with people she's comfortable around but not particularly drawn to. In those settings, she's probably pretty regulated, calm, maybe a little reserved, easy and natural, no major emotional spikes. Now I want you to think about how she is specifically around you. Is there a difference in her energy, a different quality to her voice? Does she get more animated, more playful? Does she laugh differently, less controlled, more genuine? Does she get weirdly soft out of nowhere? Does she occasionally get flustered and try to hide it? If you're noticing a difference, that difference is the sign. Here's the psychology behind it. When a woman is in the presence of a man she has real attraction for, not just casual interest, but genuine, emotionally charged desire, her nervous system operates at a higher frequency. She's more activated, more emotionally alive. And that activation shows up in behavior. She gets more animated because she cares about engaging you. She laughs more genuinely because your presence makes her feel lighter. She gets playfully sarcastic because sarcasm is a form of intimacy. It's what we do with people we feel comfortable enough to play with. And sometimes She gets nervous, real, genuine, can't quite hide it nervous. And I need you to understand something important about that nervousness. A woman does not get nervous around a man who means nothing to her if she's perfectly calm, perfectly unbothered, perfectly comfortable in an emotionally flat way. That's not a good sign. That's indifference. That's the absence of chemistry. But if she's trying to look confident while internally managing a storm of emotion she didn't plan for, if she's laughing a little too quickly or talking a little too fast or suddenly forgetting what she was about to say when you look at her a certain way, that is desire wearing the costume of composure. Her body knows it. Her nervous system knows it. Her conscious mind is just trying to keep up. And then comes something even more telling. She starts touching you, but not in the way you might think. Not big, bold, obvious contact, small stuff, subtle stuff, the kind of touch that can almost be explained away as accidental, but isn't. Her hand grazes yours when she passes you something. She reaches over and fixes your collar, adjusts your watch or your bracelet, lets her fingers rest on your forearm for just a half second too long when she's making a point. These are not accidents. Women do not casually touch men they have no interest in. Physical contact, even light contact, represents a boundary for women. It's not something they do absent-mindedly with men they feel neutral about. Every one of those small touches is her doing two things simultaneously. One, she's testing how you respond. Does he pull away? Does he get weird? Does he lean in? Is he safe? And two, she's getting used to you. Getting comfortable with the feel of being physically close to you, getting her nervous system acclimated to your presence so that the idea of more closeness doesn't feel as scary. She's not ready to fully claim you yet, but she's already getting you used to her hands. That's not an accident. That's intentional desire that she can still deny with plausible deniability. Okay, this is the sign most men never catch. And in my opinion, it might be the most psychologically revealing of all six. When a woman truly wants to give herself to a man, when she's genuinely considering opening herself up fully, she begins to study him. And I don't mean she's checking out how he looks. I mean she's observing him deeply, quietly, almost like a researcher who's gathered data and is now trying to make a conclusion. She watches what makes him angry, how he handles frustration, whether his patience holds up or whether he cracks under pressure. She watches what makes him soft, what topics make his voice change, what makes him light up, what makes him go quiet in a meaningful way. She watches how he treats people, servers, strangers, friends, people who can't do anything for him. She watches how he responds when things don't go his way. She's building a psychological profile of you, and she's doing it because she needs to. Here's the truth that most men don't understand about female intimacy. For a woman, giving herself to a man is not a casual decision. It is not a decision made on surface-level attraction alone. It is one of the most psychologically significant acts a woman can make. Because when a woman opens herself fully, emotionally, physically, vulnerably, she is exposed in a way that cannot be undone, and she knows that. So before she makes that move, she needs to know you. Not just like you, not just find you attractive. Know you, your emotional depth, your character, your stability. She cannot surrender to a man she doesn't understand. Have you ever noticed a woman looking at you when she thought you weren't paying attention? That quiet, intense, searching kind of look. Not flirtatious, just observational. She wasn't just admiring you. She was asking herself, is he real? Is he deep? Is there something beneath the surface worth giving myself to? She was checking if you are as emotionally substantial as the desire she feels for you. And if she senses that you are, if she sees your depth, your patience, your genuine emotional complexity, something starts happening inside her that she can't fully control. Her walls begin to fall. Not all at once, not dramatically, but piece by piece, layer by layer. And then comes the test. And this is crucial because this is the moment most men fail without realizing they're even being tested. Right before a woman is ready to give herself to you, she will create a moment of friction. She might go a little cold for a day or two, pull back slightly, get emotional over something that seems minor, ask you a pointed question about your intentions, challenge something you said or did. And every guy who doesn't understand female psychology reads this as a red flag, thinks she's playing games, gets frustrated or confused or needy. But here's what's actually happening. She's not creating problems. She's running diagnostics. She needs to see how you behave when things get uncomfortable, when she's not making it easy, when there's emotional friction in the space between you. Does he get defensive? Does he get distant? Does he get desperate? Or does he stay steady, grounded, patient, present? Because that steadiness, that emotional stability in the face of her uncertainty is what tells her, I can trust him. She needs to see your strength before she can surrender to it. Her body is the last door she opens. She's not going to open it for a man who folds under pressure, but for a man who stays calm, stays present, stays patient while she works through her fear. For that man, the door opens almost on its own. Pay close attention to this one, because it's hiding in the most ordinary everyday moments. A woman who wants to give herself to you starts doing something that you might not even consciously notice at first. She starts making herself available to you, not in a dramatic way, not in an obvious, I moved my whole schedule for you kind of way. Subtle, quiet, deniable. She responds to your texts faster than makes logical sense for someone who claims to be that busy. She remembers, unprompted, something specific you said 3 weeks ago, something you barely remember saying yourself, but she held on to it, turned it over in her mind, brought it back up naturally. She cancels or reschedules other plans when there's an opportunity to spend time with you, but she does it in a way that doesn't make it seem like a big deal. Oh yeah, I was just gonna hang with so-and-so, it's fine. Like it's casual, like she didn't even think about it. She stays up past when she should be asleep because the conversation with you is worth the tired morning. She creates opportunities to talk to you that look organic but aren't. She'll send you an article, tag you in something, ask your opinion on something she could have easily Googled. Not because she needs the information, because she wanted an excuse to connect. And here's the psychological truth underneath all of this. Desire rearranges priorities without asking permission. She's not sitting down and making a conscious decision to reorganize her life around you. Her desire is doing it for her. Quietly, automatically, persistently. When you matter to a woman, you take up space in her mind that pushes other things aside. You become a priority she didn't plan for and can't quite explain. And then there's this layer, watch what she does with her presentation around you. She fixes her hair before walking over to you, even if she just fixed it 2 minutes ago. She reapplies her lip gloss when she knows she's about to see you. She sits up straighter when you enter the room. She's more careful about how she smells, how she looks, the energy she's putting out. Now I know what some people say. Women dress up for themselves, not for men. And sometimes that's true. But psychology says something else when it's specifically around one particular man that a woman becomes suddenly more intentional about her presentation. When thoughts of you change the way she prepares herself, that is not self-expression. That is desire expressing itself through presentation. She wants to be the most desirable version of herself in your presence, because she wants you to desire her the way she desires you. And then there's jealousy. The quiet, controlled, barely visible kind. Because here's the thing about female jealousy when it comes to real desire. It doesn't look like dramatic confrontations or loud accusations. It looks like a fraction of a second pause when another woman's name comes up, a slight shift in her tone, a tightening around her eyes, a quiet that wasn't there before. And then it's gone, replaced immediately by composure, because she's trying to hide it, but you saw it. A woman does not get quietly, privately jealous over a man she sees as temporary. She doesn't feel that possessive sting over someone who doesn't mean anything to her. She gets jealous over the man she's already, consciously or unconsciously, started imagining as hers. If she's working that hard to hide it, that makes it even more real. Because the things we try hardest to conceal are the things that matter most. Okay, I gotta pause for 1 second, because if you've made it this far in the video, you are not the average person. You are someone who genuinely wants to understand this stuff on a deeper level. And that matters. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Every week we break down psychological and emotional truths about attraction and desire that go way beyond what you'll find anywhere else. Hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below. Tell me which sign has hit the hardest so far. All right, we've got one more sign, and it's the most powerful one of all. This is the final shift, and I want you to understand something before I describe it. This sign is different from the others, because all the previous signs involved some degree of choice. She chooses to sit closer. She chooses to share personal details. She chooses to make herself available. But this sign? She doesn't choose this. It chooses her. There comes a moment, and it's different for every woman, but it always comes, where her desire for you becomes stronger than her ability to contain it, where the feeling is bigger than the defense she's built around it, and in that moment her body begins telling the truth that her mouth is still too afraid to speak. Her breathing changes around you. It gets slower, deeper, almost imperceptibly, but it's there, like her body is settling into something, like it's preparing for proximity, for closeness, for warmth. Her pupils dilate when she looks at you. This is not something she controls. Pupil dilation is a direct neurological response to encountering something we desire. Her brain is literally telling her body, this matters. And her eyes are obeying. Her lips part slightly when you speak, not dramatically, just barely, like her body is leaning forward into your words. She positions herself so close to you that you can feel her warmth without actually touching. And when you do touch, even casually, even briefly, she doesn't pull back. She continues the contact, leans into it, lets it linger. These are not social choices. These are primal biological responses. Her body knows her desire before her conscious mind is ready to claim it. And emotionally, this is where everything changes. She becomes softer around you, more nurturing. She starts paying attention to your mood, not because she feels obligated, but because she genuinely cares. She notices when you're off. She asks. She remembers. She stops protecting her ego around you, forgives you faster than makes logical sense, lets things go that she would hold on to with anyone else. She starts letting you lead. In conversations, in decisions, in the rhythm of moments together. Not because she's passive or weak, but because she trusts your strength enough to follow it. And that trust, that emotional, genuine, deeply felt trust, is the most sacred thing a woman can give you. It is worth infinitely more than any physical signal. Because here's the ultimate truth about female desire and feminine surrender. For a woman, giving you her body is the last thing she gives you, not the first. First, she gives you her attention, then her laughter, then her vulnerability, then her fears, then her time, then her loyalty. And only when she has given you all of those, only when she has seen that you receive every one of them with gentleness and strength, does she give you the rest. Her body is not the beginning of her surrender. It is the completion of it, and you will know when she's arrived at that place. Not because she'll say it, but because everything about her becomes more open, more feminine, more present. She doesn't fear being alone with you. She desires it. She creates those opportunities. She invites you into her private spaces, physical and emotional. She stays even when she has every reason to leave because she's made her decision. She's chosen you, not loudly, not dramatically, but completely. The signs were never loud. They were never a dramatic moment, never a bold declaration, never something obvious enough to be impossible to miss. They were quiet, subtle, layered in psychology and instinct and emotion. A woman who wants to give herself to you doesn't write it on the wall. She writes it in the way she breathes near you, in the way she looks away too fast, in the way she remembers what you said when she thought you weren't paying attention, in the way her body gravitates toward you like it doesn't have a choice. She speaks the language of desire in a frequency that most men never learn to hear. But you, after today, you hear it. And if you're sitting here thinking back on a woman in your life, recent or years ago, and suddenly certain moments are clicking into place in a way they never did before, that wasn't your imagination. That was her desire reaching for you in the only language she knew how to use. I want you to do 3 things right now. Number 1, like this video. If it genuinely gave you insight you didn't have before, that like means more than you know. It helps this content reach the men who need it most. Number 2, share this. Send it to someone in your life who's been confused about a woman's behavior, who's been waiting for something obvious when the signs were already there. This might be exactly what changes something for them. Number 3, subscribe. Right now. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, hit that button. Because every single week we go this deeper into the psychology of desire, attraction, emotional connection, and the truths about women that most men never access. This is psychology of desire. And desire has always been speaking. You just finally learned how to listen.